The Relic? Who picked that one?
You!
Alright, well, I guess I did.
Never heard of it.
That's fine. I'm actually going to start the show with a question. Is there any movies that you think were kind of lost in the shuffle? Because this was one of them. The Relic came out in 1997. If somebody says, "Whew, I've never heard of this movie," I don't really blame you. It's not really talked about a whole lot. So I will get into it. This stars. Oh, and this is Chip Roach. And
Oh, we know.
what do you mean we know? Some people may not. They might be new. So, anyways, this stars Penelope Ann Miller.
Who?
She was a kindergarten cop. She was the parent of the kid that was being stalked.
Oh.
She was also in The Shadow. Let's see. Linda Hunt is in this. She was also in Kindergarten Cop.
Who?
She was the principal. Linda Hunt.
I know who she is.
She was. What was she? Who else was she?
NCIS Los Angeles.
Okay, NCIS, one of the 1,200 of them that exists, and she was.
There's
in
only like 5.
There's several.
Yeah, like 5. Actually, I think there's 6. I think they made another one too.
The late Tom Sizemore is in this. Well, okay, let's do the Tom Sizemore lesson. He was in... Oh, what was that prison movie called? I think it was called Locked Up. With Sylvester Stallone and Donald Sutherland.
Don't know who either one of them are or what that is.
Unfortunately, they are not in this movie, so I don't have to give the Stallone and Donald Sutherland lesson, but Donald Sutherland sadly passed away this year. So, anyways...
Wait! That's the guy from the Hunger Games.
Yes.
Okay, I know who he is.
Yes.
But anyways, continue.
So Tom Sizemore, he was in Saving Private Ryan. He was an Enemy of the State.
Nope. Did I watch that?
He was in Passenger 57.
Definitely did not watch that.
Enemy of the State, I want to say you saw.
Which one's that?
The one with Will Smith when he's running from the government because the guy puts a tape in his bag when he's going Christmas shopping. Yeah, he was the guy that was in the mob that was threatening him at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So that is the Tom Sizemore lesson. James Whitmore is also in this. We know him from Shawshank Redemption. I know you're not going to know who he is.
I know what that is.
But
So which character?
Shawshank Redemption, so you would definitely know him. He was the guy with the bird. The old guy. Brooks. And then there's also some minor characters that were in there. I believe his name is Mark Lesser. He was in Die Hard at the very beginning. He was the agent in Ernest Saves Christmas. So his name is Robert Lesser. There's not even a picture of him, for goodness sake. But yes, he was in Ernest Saves Christmas. He was the agent. And he was in a quick scene in Die Hard at the beginning when he's teaching McClane how to deal with traveling on an airplane. So that's really what he is known for. And he is the mayor of this movie. He plays a pretty important role for the most part. Because the one guy does like to suck up to him who's trying to get a grant. But anyways, moving on. So, this is also directed by Peter Hyams. He is known for Capricorn 1. That's his big movie.
Never heard of it.
Well, O.J. Simpson's in it, so hopefully he tried not to kill anybody during the production.
Again, never heard of it.
Okay.
I don't think I ever watched one movie with him in there.
You may not have.
I only know him because of football.
He was in the Naked Gun movies, but I don't think I ever showed you those.
Nope, never watched that.
And I don't think you would like them anyways.
I don't like half of your movies. Actually, I don't like 3/4 of your movies.
Are you kidding me? That's on camera.
So?
Okay, so this movie came out in 1997. When we went through the titles, there were a lot of very strange movies that came out in 1997. I will go through some of them. One of them was Flubber. That's weird. That's pretty much Jello that comes to life. Jungle to Jungle, George of the Jungle. Let's see, then there's Dante's Peak that wasn't... Okay, that one's not too weird. Volcano kind of is. A volcano in Los Angeles. I mean, that is a little far-fetched. That almost can't happen. Let's see, we got Men in Black. Obviously, Titanic was in 97. I'm trying to think of the weird ones. I think
Honey, we shrunk ourselves.
Honey, I Shrunk Ourselves was one of them. I know there was a Land Before Time in there.
That's not weird.
That's not weird, but yeah, there were some strange ones that may have gotten lost here. I want to say The Mimic was in 1997 as well. Maybe Lost in Space possibly was 97. They were Liar. That one was kind of funny.
Liar was dumb.
Not a Jim Carrey. Well, you don't like comedies. You told me so.
I don't like how stupid they are. They're supposed to be funny. They ain't funny.
Oh, all right. Well,
Just like you think you're funny and you're not funny.
I see you just hurt Jim Carrey's feelings.
Well, I just said you weren't funny and I live with you, so therefore I should hurt your feelings more than I should hurt somebody else's.
I'll put that on the comments.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm trying to think what else came out in 97 that was kind of strange. I know there were... Well, The Rainmaker came out, but that wasn't weird. Hard Rain might have been 97. That was a little weird. There were just some interesting titles out there. And obviously I'm going to put this in this category for sure. I'm going to let you know if I do recommend...
I didn't even see this movie on the list.
Oh, just wait. And this probably won't be one of your favorites. So this one just may not have been listed, but yeah, IMDb definitely did list this as 97. And I do remember when this movie came out. I still remember the trailers. But like I said, it wasn't talked about a lot. So the story of this movie is somebody from the Field Museum of Chicago. He goes to South America, and he's hanging out with this tribe. There's a I'm trying to pronounce it. Okay, I hope I pronounce it right. I think it's called Cathoga. And so what happens is they have the guy at the museum, the Field Museum in Chicago, and he's there, and they're boiling these leaves in a pot of boiling water, and they've got hormones on them. So he eats the leaves, so whatever hormones are on those leaves, that's what he turns into, and I believe that is called the Cathoga. I hope I pronounced that right. But we will find out, because obviously I'm going to show clips, but they really do have to be...
Yeah, okay, sure we will.
Unfortunately, they do have to be 6 seconds, or we're going to get dinged, like we did for Titanic, for whatever reason.
Yeah, how long was that video?
It was long. It was like an hour.
And how long is it now?
And now I think it's down to 32 minutes, 34 minutes. Yeah, they took a chunk out of that, including the sinking of the ship scene. So, well, I will show clips of him eating the hormones. I will show you those in just a second. I just got to turn away. Okay, so here we go. So this guy is eating the hormones. Now, Michael Jackson still might be alive today if he found out he could just eat leaves that have millions of hormones on them. He might have been all right. Okay, I guess that was a little distasteful. But moving on. So he ate the leaves as I'm getting things thrown at me again.
I missed.
So...
I did not miss that time.
So I'm getting pelted here. So he eats the leaves, and now he is slowly.
I could have just went like that the whole time.
Yes, you could have. I'm not thirsty.
I was, hence why it's gone.
So, anyways, he's eating the leaves, and now he's acting kind of strange. So I'm not going to tell you why. So what he does later on is he tries to get these crates off the ship that's going to the Field Museum in Chicago, because he sees that these leaves are kind of dangerous. So he wants to get them off the ship. So then the guy tells him no, he can't go and get them. So he sneaks on the ship, tries to get him out, but he has it looks like he's having a nervous breakdown. He's not. He's turning into something. So 6 weeks later, Lieutenant Augusta, which is played by Tom Sizemore, they find this abandoned ship with blood on it. They think it was a drug kill, and we're going to find out what it actually was, because they don't see any bodies. Well, you know what they say on a ship? The bathroom is referred to as the head. And as you can see on the boat, there is a bunch of floating heads in the. I'm just getting a really bad stare right about now.
Well, considering that I literally had my eyes closed as I was recording that scene, yeah.
So this is what happened. Obviously, there was blood on the door. They smelled something. They looked down below, and there were a bunch of heads floating around. I will explain the thing with the heads missing, because this is a occurring scene throughout this movie. The scenes can be a little bit brutal at times. So if you are a little squeamish, I am sorry. I did not direct this movie or write it. I am showing it, though, so I guess I am partially to blame here.
Yeah, but I ain't showing no nasty clips, so.
Okay. So now if you are interested in this movie, at the end of this, there was a novel by, I believe it's Douglas Preston, and he wrote this, so this was a book first. And they said, well, this would be a pretty good movie. So he did help with this. So the movie should be pretty close to the actual book itself. I just wanted to throw that in there. So the next scene, we are going to be introduced to Dr. Margot Green, who is going for a grant. She is a biologist in the Field Museum in Chicago. And we're going to meet Linda Hunt, who is warning her that somebody else is going for her grant. So now there's going to be competition. And Greg Lee is going for this grant, and he is the museum suck-up, I guess you want to say. Because during this exhibition that they're going to have later on in the movie, they're going to have the mayor and the Blaisdells, and they have a lot of money, and they approve these grants. So he's going to try to attach himself to these people, and yes, Dr. Lee is a very disliked character, and we're going to meet them in just a second.
It's just that the Blaisdell Foundation has decided to delay their decision. Why? Greg Lee is applying for the same grant. Greg? I thought he had his grant. Well, he's going after another one. Can he do that? Another one?
So this is Margot Green, and that is I believe it's the museum director. Obviously that is the actress Linda Hunt, and they're talking about her grant. And the museum suck-up is kind of going for the same one, and we are going to meet him in just a second. I think you'll find him just as goofy as I find him. So I will show that next.
Oh, hello, Greg. How nice to see you. How's your research going?
Fine. I'm just a little bit
Could
busy.
there be anything special that you'd like to tell me? Of course not. Because if there was, you would have just come out and told me.
I have every right to apply for it.
So this is Greg Lee. So this little annoying creature is going for her grant. So I know we are all rooting against him. So we will find out if he gets the grant or not, but we have to wait for that expedition to find out if he gets it or not. So we will keep watching because now we have victim number 2.
Johnson. Hey, you.
Ooh, that hurts. Well, this is the security guard at the beginning of the movie, and obviously he, I don't think he'll be going in tomorrow. Well, he will be there, but his spirit has obviously moved on. So, I'm not sure if I'm really going to show his remains or not. It's a pretty graphic scene. It looks like he's pretty much brutally killed the next day. But now I'm going to show you what the hormones look like on the leaves, and I'm going to show you that right now. Well, it's an important part of the movie. Well, these are the leaves, and those little brown things on it.
They look red.
Okay, fine. The reddish brown things on the leaves, those are the hormones that guy ate. They don't know what it is until they actually put it through a bunch of tests. Now, I don't know if you saw it or not, but there's a little beetle that actually went in with the crate. So that, we're going to see what happens to that beetle at a later clip. Hopefully I can find it. Now, if you are squeamish, you may not want to see this next part. There is a reason why I am going to show the crime scene. That's a little gruesome. So I will
To
show
give me
you-
nightmares for the rest of my life?
Oh, it's not that bad. Show you that right now.
The worst way to die than a shark attack. Having my head ripped off never occurred to me. Where is this guy? It's over there by the sink.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, why is this guy showing a brain on the floor?
Because it's gross.
There is a reason, because, see, the thing is, whatever this is has to eat part of the brain to stay alive. That's just the way it is. The hormones that it's eating are unfortunately in the human brain. Because I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is. You'll have to find out deeper into this.
You already did like 5 times in this video.
I did not say what it was. Well, we will actually see what this thing looks like deeper in the video. So now we are going to find out what happened to that little beetle that was eating the leaves. So we will show you that in just a second. So hopefully you can see it, but this is the beetle. It got a little bit bigger. This thing was probably a little bit. It was probably the size of a dime, and now it's mutated into this giant bug, and this is what these hormones do. So, just imagine a lizard-looking thing just wandering around this museum. So, the cops are still looking for it because the thing is, they're having this big exhibit. And like I said, the mayor and the Blaisdells, there's important people going to be there. They don't really want a killer running around the museum. So the cops are actually looking for this thing in the tunnels. So they think it's in the basement. So the cops are there at the exhibit because the big party is now. So everybody's pouring in. And the cops are trying to contain this thing. So they're still able to have the party, but let's see if it gets crashed. So let's see what happens.
Mayor, Your Honor, how do you feel about the exhibit?
Very, very proud.
Are you superstitious?
Only around election time.
Alright, so as you can see, they're still having the party, even though there might be a killer loose in the museum. But that's okay. Chicago's finest is on it. They're in the basement looking for this thing. And it turns out that it does, I don't know when, but it does end up killing one of the police officers. The dog gets loose, chases it, and the dog ends up getting scared. It wants nothing to do with the dog, but it does get the police officer. So then the officers know that there is a major problem. So they try to break up the party. But first, before I show any type of action, I'm going to show you what a suck-up Greg Lee is. Because the mayor makes a really stupid joke, and he decides to laugh.
We'll be fine here.
Okay, officer. I'll stay behind and protect this service's place now.
That's good. Okay, so this is the suck-up Greg Lee. As you can see, he laughs at a late joke from the mayor. And then he is, I'm sure the Blaisdells love the fact that he gets to stay with them to try to protect them from whatever this is that is tormenting the museum. So the final clip I'm going to show is the lizard itself, or whatever you want to call it.
If you could see, because it's very dark.
Yeah, the problem is, the problem with this movie is it is in the dark a lot of the time. That is the one problem with it. So we will do our best to show the lizard, but I don't want to give any more away. So so this is why it's going to be the last clip. What? So this is the final clip that I am showing. So this is how it takes the head off. It uses the mandibles to sort of release it up, and then it just sort of just tosses it aside for later. So, unfortunately, this is how this thing has to stay alive. So I am not going to give any more away. This is a movie that you are going to have to check out yourself. And like I said, this movie was released in 1997. So I actually do recommend buying it. I do recommend to buy the item. I actually purchased the item. Probably
The item?
Yes, the item.
The movie?
I'm quoting Report of the Week with him saying item. So
He's a clown. Can we get back to what you were doing? Thank you.
So I could not really find a good review online for this, so I decided to do it myself. Because this is not a movie that is really talked about a lot, and I think the one issue is because it is in the dark.
So, yeah.
So if I did have to review this movie, I would probably give it a B- rating.
You did review this movie.
Okay, but I didn't do the grade yet. Well, until now. Yeah, so if I had to grade this movie, I would give it a B-. Probably a B- flat. Just because it is dark. The acting's not bad. The casting is not bad. But honestly, I would probably recommend buying it. I don't think it's very expensive. I think it's maybe $5 with free shipping on eBay. And don't worry, Jeremy Johns does not do a review on this. It's way too complicated for him. And it would give Chris Stuckman nightmares. And people on Reddit, I wouldn't even bother with them because there is no toys for them to complain about. So there's no merchandising with this movie, so they're not going to complain. But this is definitely a movie to check out if you do get a chance to. Yes, I am chatting at the end I'm trying to entice people to give this movie a shot. It's worth a chance. If you don't like it, that's fine. Then you could just comment and say, this was a waste of my time. This was a horrible movie that I would just say, well, whatever. It's not a big deal. If you didn't like it, that's fine. It's not for everybody. It's not. So, comment below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.